here with a crafty home, and today it is Wednesday, which means Top 5 Wednesday. Top 5 Wednesday is a Goodreads group created by Ginger Beans Lady, and I will make sure to leave the link down below. You should totally join. It is so much fun and gives you a great way to have content. So yeah. So this week's topic is, I must look at my Goodreads group to remember exactly how it is, books that feature traveling. Any genre, just books that feature traveling. So I just went to my bookshelf and went, that one does, I like that one, and here we go. So, in no particular order, because you know me, I usually don't do them in any particular order. Even though it's supposed to be at like a top 5 list, yeah, I'm bad at that. So anyway, first off is Ruby Red and the whole Lunar Chronicles. I do have Lunar Chronicles on this list, that's why I said that. The whole Precious Stones trilogy. I love this series, and if you've been watching me for a while, you know that. I adore it. And of course, this features time travel. Like, that's the best form of travel. So cool. I love this book. Alright. Next is a book that many of you may not have heard of. This is Return to Me by Lynn Austen. This is, oh golly, what series is it? The Restoration Chronicles. I believe there are 2 out so far. I have the first 2. These are historical fiction, biblical historical fiction to be more accurate. This is about the time of, now I have to try to remember which one it is. As I make silly noises. Oh, so this is when King Cyrus declares that the Jews may return to Jerusalem. And so this is the story of them leaving and their trek to go back to Jerusalem. I love this story. I ended up with 2 copies and I gave the other one to my mother-in-law. She loves it. My dad loved it. Wait, has my dad read it yet? If he hasn't, I need to give this one to him next. My dad's constantly borrowing books from me. And my father-in-law read it, and he doesn't really read fiction, but he read it and enjoyed it. Like, everybody I know loves this. I highly recommend it. So good. And it features traveling. Next, I don't have the first book anymore. I loaned them to my dad, and he didn't ruin them, but the first one, like, he gave me back a bunch of books, and I think it was like, I want to say, it was some holiday. I think it may have been Christmas. Some holiday where they, you know, like I had a whole bunch of stuff, or maybe it was one time I went over after a holiday a few months later. Mom was like, here's a pile of stuff and here's some books from your dad. And so I put it in the back of my car. Well, come to find out, my car is leaking through the back window apparently. And so that one was on top and it got completely ruined, and I was just like, ugh. So I've actually seen the first one in the series on Book Outlet, and so I totally need to buy it, and I have rambled long enough about that. The first book is A Cast of Stones. This is the second book, The Hero's Lot. This is the Staff and the Sword series by Patrick W. Carr. This is a fantasy series, a Christian fantasy kind of. I guess it's called Christian, but it doesn't really have that many completely Christian themes. I guess mainly you could call it that because the religion that is in this most closely resembles something like Christianity, I suppose. But it is about corruption in the church, and they have to figure out who the new king is supposed to be, and there's this whole way that they like cast lots by using these stones, and they have to carve them correctly, and there's people that do that. It's just really great book, and there's a lot of travel because they keep having to get to places and travel and try to save the empire, and I love this series. My dad loved it too. I was a little worried, like, when I first read it, it was kind of my first fantasy, and so I was thinking, like, am I just liking this because it's fantasy, or is it actually good? And so when my dad asked for some books, I was like, well, here, try this. I'm not sure if you like it. And he loved it too. And he is like picky. He reads a lot, but he's not necessarily, like, I love almost everything. He doesn't. So I was surprised that he actually liked it. I was like, oh good, confirmation that it is really good and it's not just me. So anyway, there's that series. And then next would be a book I haven't read in quite a while. I don't like this copy very much. I got it from Paperback Swap, and I really want to get like hardcovers, I think, of these. I read it from the library. I didn't actually read this edition, but anyway, that would be Inkheart by Cornelia Funk. I have yet to finish the series with, isn't Ink Death the last one? I don't own that one. I own the first two. I totally need to finish the series because I loved it so much. I read this though when I first started BookTube, so I wonder what I would think of it now. But anyway, if you're not aware, in Inkheart, the main character can, Maggie, and her father, they can, I don't know if that's that might be a giveaway. Anyway, they can read, when they read aloud, they're actually transported to that place. So, excuse me, I better get a drink of water. Much better. So yeah, that features traveling, a very cool kind of traveling where like what you read comes to life. So cool. I love the idea of that book. And then lastly, I have Crests from the Lunar Chronicles. I chose Crests because it seems like Crests has the most travel, although they all have a lot of travel, but in this one there seems to be the most, and so far this is my favorite of the series, and I can't wait for winter to come out. I have it pre-ordered. The cover is beautiful. Why do we have to wait so long? I'm done with my pout. Anyway, I love the travel in this. I love Crests. Well, it's not really giving away because Crest is the story of Rapunzel, and you know that Rapunzel was like kept in a tower. Well, in this, Crest was kept somewhere, and then she finally gets out, just like Rapunzel did. And I just love that whole travel scene and the whole like rest of her travels and her newness at figuring everything out. Love it, love it, love it. That's why I love this book so much. So those are my top 5 books that feature travel, and let me know down below what your favorite are. I'm sure that a lot of people are going to do road trip books. I haven't actually read a road trip book, so if you can think of a good one for me, go ahead and recommend it in the comments down below. It's not the word I was looking for, but anyway. And until next time, I'll chat with y'all later. Bye!